Hello, everyone. So my name is Lauren Bacon. I'm a second-year medical student at Ohio University Heritage College of Osteopathic Medicine down in Athens, Ohio. And I've lived in Arizona my entire life and up until choosing Ohio for medical school. And I'm really grateful that I chose Ohio for many reasons. And for one, that I wouldn't have had this opportunity to serve as an Albert Schweitzer Fellow if I hadn't chose Ohio. As a Schweitzer Fellow, I partnered with a local nonprofit organization called Good Works in Athens, Ohio. And there, I led an educational tobacco cessation support group for at-risk community members of lower socioeconomic status. The class was focused on helping the participants to overcome the psychosocial and physical dependence on tobacco, and also just to encourage them to incorporate a healthier diet and exercise into their new lifestyle. I first discovered the Schweitzer Fellowship actually by volunteering my first semester of medical school with actually a former fellow Schweitzer, and she did a nutritional class called Health for Life. And it was there that it was really clear to me that there was a need to address tobacco addiction in this population. I saw that many of the individuals within the Good Works community used tobacco, and they also had conditions like heart disease and diabetes and hypertension and many other conditions that are exacerbated or induced by smoking. And so my project's goal was just to be able to educate these individuals about the major health consequences of tobacco products, and just to be able to encourage them of the benefits of quitting tobacco. My group met every Friday evening for a total of 18 weeks, and during the fall and spring semester over this last year. I incorporated fun, interactive, educational games, such as we played Pictionary and other team-building games. And with those games, I tried to incorporate facts about tobacco and just quitting in the center of our focus of each game. And so we covered one topic per week and had a discussion time with each of the participants just to be able to encourage them on an individual basis of their personal goals with quitting. We also had 3 guest speakers who came and shared their own personal story of quitting and their success in that. I began my project last April and attending a weekly social outreach dinner by the nonprofit organization that I partnered with, which was Good Works. And during this time, I really intentionally tried to introduce myself to many of the people just who I observed who smoked or chewed tobacco. And I sat with them each week at dinner just to try to get to know them better and try to establish that good rapport and trust relationship with them. And just in that time that I devoted, I really got to know them, and that really opened up doors for me later on during the class. And just my experience as an Albert Schweitzer Fellow, it's one I will never forget. And it really shaped me and equipped me with all the necessary skills to one day soon be a good doctor. And just by being immersed in the Appalachian culture, it's one that's very unique and different than my own. And I really was able to expand just on my cultural sensitivity and just on the different, all the different influences that really shape the way people's belief and their value system, and how that kind of really gets them to make these health decisions that they do. And addressing tobacco addiction within the Appalachian culture, it's where it's socially acceptable and a norm. And that really came with great adversity doing this class. Yet it really proved that one person really can make a difference. And there were really many memorable experiences, and it's hard for me just to narrow down just to one. But just to my surprise, 2 of the attendees in the class struggled not only with tobacco, but there's these 2 that actually struggled with a different addiction. They struggled with alcohol and with marijuana. And one woman who actually suffered from depression, she said she often turned to alcohol and just to numb the pain. And just over the course of the class, she became really transparent with us and vulnerable. And she was able to share her struggles with us and just her story. And so we also had another woman who admitted to using a daily use of marijuana over the last 7 years, she had told us. And both women had said that it was because of the class that they decided to quit and were sober for the 3 weeks that they attended the class, and that they continued to seek support to remain quit. And so over the hours that I devoted and spent time, both within the hours of the Schweitzer Fellowship and without, I really saw the success of the class. And it was really initiating a movement of change within the community. I witnessed a dramatic change, just the perception and attitude of the people that had about smoking among my participants and within the community. And so although I don't have many more of these major success stories within my cohort of participants, I really believe that success is not a measure of quantity as more as it is a measure of quality. Some of my participants went from having no desire to quit to actively trying to quit and reducing the amount that they smoked. And so others really learned about the health effects of smoking and the benefits. And so one day soon, I hope that they will make that change of quitting. Although they couldn't be here tonight, I did want to acknowledge my site mentor, Keith Wasserman, the founder of Good Works, and his assistant, Don Tobin. I was welcomed into the Good Works community as a partner over the last 2 years, and I've really felt that they've become my family. And I wanted to thank them just for their advice along the way and the support for all the challenges that I came up against. I want to recognize my academic mentor, who also couldn't be here tonight, Dr. Rue, just with all of her help in just the application process and just her innovative ideas that she's gave me. And I also wanted to thank Chip Bond just for being an encouragement to us and just all the support that he's given us over this past year and really taken a genuine interest in each of the fellows. And lastly, I also want to recognize just Dr. Drozik, that he was able to come here tonight and show support. And I also got to work with him on this project as well. And lastly, I just want to recognize and thank my volunteers who are also here with me tonight. And I'm truly blessed that God gave me my volunteers and just this opportunity. And I can really tell that my volunteers have a passion for serving people. And so I just wanted to thank you all for coming. So, thank you.